What is going on, Dolphins fans? Welcome to another episode of The Extra Yard. Sorry for starting 10 minutes late. It's all Juan's fault for a plethora of reasons, including the fact that he invited our special guest on today and then asked at 9:04, was I supposed to send him the link? That is just the way Juan is. He is not the brightest guy out there and absolutely in contention 100%. For dumbest guy on Dolphins Twitter. But like I said, we have Sordi here. Sordi, thanks so much for being here, man.
Yo, thank you guys for having me. I told Kai that Juan must have been busy looking at NFTs or some shit. They're trying to buy the Dolphins ticket NFT, so he's all over.
Kai doesn't want to send it to me, bro. Kai does not want to send it to
me. I'll give you some background on it, okay, Sordi? Here's what's happening. And shout out to our background producer, who's a secret, who's a fantastic producer. Let me give you some background on that, Sordi. When the Dolphins said they were going to have the NFT, Juan immediately texted Kai and said, "Kai, let me get that NFT." Then Big E, I think it was today, tweeted out about the NFT. Yeah. And Juan went on a rant of about 5 or 6 texts in a row. Why don't you want me to have it? Why do you hate me? The fuck did I do to you? He's very upset. It's like when you dump someone and they're really hurt about it and they didn't get a reason and they keep texting you. That's what it is. So from the woman scorned herself, Juan, how are you feeling about this NFT, bro?
I'm very upset. It's either they only prioritize like big ballers like Big E, or they just stole it from my dog Kai, or maybe Kai's just lying to me. I don't know. There's a lot of ways I could take this. It's just I'm still processing.
Yeah, I'm sure. And you seem very hurt. And the last person I'm going to introduce, we are joined by Kendall. And what makes me so happy about Kendall being here is 2 things. Number one, Kendall, myself, and Kai were all part of the team that was right and said that the Dolphins were going to be 7-7 heading into the Saints matchup. So we're dancing all over the stupidity that Juan and Royal said, but also
diversity.
Huh?
It brings diversity.
Sure, that too. I mean, some people like that, But then also, the number one fan of Duke Johnson himself for having been the first one on the Extra Yard to start calling it Duke Johnson season. So I'll give you that. I didn't say it first on Extra Yard. I did say it before you. Duke Johnson had a huge game, so I can imagine, Kendall, you were just over the moon, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, Dade County product, stunting in his home town, where he played, bro. Slugged up with a bald head. I mean, Duke was teed up. I mean, the reason that I said Duke was going to go off is because the Dolphins don't make no sense. So if it's anybody who's going to go for 100 yards and show that we have a running game on a Sunday, it was going to be Duke Johnson, and that's what happened.
True. And to be honest, I don't remember who tweeted out, but somebody tweeted out, it was like Savon Ahmed was the last person to have 100 yards rushing for the Dolphins. Kai. And it was Kai, right? And that was I think almost a year to the day that then Duke Johnson had the next 100-yard game.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy. The Dolphins don't know what they're doing. Let's break into the first thing, right? The Dolphins beat the Jets. They win 34-24 in what was an uneven game for the number one player on the field. And by number one, I mean jersey number. I know he's Juan's 53rd favorite player on the Dolphins. But Sordi, as you are the guest, I will start with you. What were your thoughts on Tua's performance Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, Tua, it was pretty disappointing. I'm not going to lie, especially in the first quarter, just like that first drive. He was missing a lot of different guys. Obviously, he just didn't look great overall throughout the entire game. He obviously picked it up like that moon ball to DVP. That was like a 20. I saw a next gen stat that was like a 20% chance of completion. So that was pretty sick. He had some good throws. He made up for it. Overall, like debating Tua's grade, I was anywhere from like D+ to C-. You got to give him credit for leading the game-winning drive at the end, even though the ball was a little bit behind Devontae Parker. It wasn't the most accurate, but I'll give it to Tua. He bounced back when he needed to. Overall, disappointed to say the least, but the kid got the win, so that's all that really matters, right? The win column at the end of the day, right now, I guess.
Yeah, and I agree with you, right? It's disappointed in him specifically because we've come to expect better, especially when it comes to accuracy, which is something that he displayed very little of in that game. Like, he had moments where he displayed fantastic accuracy, and the moments where, I mean, it just didn't look like it was anywhere near a person, or they had to reach out a little bit too far for it. Juan, I'm going to let you go last on this one because I'm sure you really want to sound off on it. So, Kendall, your thoughts on Tua and his performance specifically?
Tua was very mid on Sunday. Inaccurate.
So he was Flanagan's.
Huh? Oh.
No, Flanagan's is below average.
Yeah, Flanagan's is a little worse. Flanagan's is a little worse than Tua was on Sunday. Flanagan's was a little worse than Tua was on Sunday.
Oh, he didn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, he was inaccurate. He looked shaky from the start. I mean, it just looked bad. I mean, the botch snap with him and Duke or the read option. I did expect better from him, especially because Franklin Myers was someone on the Jets who was talking shit about him after the last game. So I definitely expected him to come in and prove a point that whatever you're saying he's not trash. But and he did set the defense back. He put the defense in a hole. I mean, 3 and out, then the Jets score. 3 and out. Oh, he threw a pick. First play. I mean, as soon as they got
first
off the field,
play, defense is sitting there trying to figure out what everything's going on.
It's like the third time that happened this year. That's pretty difficult to see for a third fucking time, in the season. But hopefully he bounces back. He was steady in the second and the third, and then the pick six in the fourth. I don't know exactly what he saw because they tend to squat on his routes because we throw short mostly. So Sordi gave him a D to a C minus. I'm giving him a D minus because he just wasn't good enough.
I'll go before you do, Juan, because I'm sure you're ready to just destroy him and hump back on that Herbert genitalia. But for myself, look, this is what I'm going to say, and to Bishop Sycamore's finest comment specifically, I think most of us are disappointed because it just wasn't what we expected from Tua, right? We felt like those mistakes had been not necessarily entirely put behind him, but they were far enough back that it wouldn't cost the Dolphins as badly as they did. And some of those mistakes were just real head scratches of what were you doing there? I will say this. If Tua doesn't throw that pick six in the fourth quarter, which was an awful decision on his part, 100% on him, I might give 101% in total and give 1% to Hunter Long, who fights for a ball probably worse than any civilian off the street. But if he doesn't throw that pick six, I think this game looks a little bit different, right? I think we look at his performance almost completely differently, where we're kind of thinking, okay, that's not that bad. He threw the pick early on. He kind of made up for it later on. So I'm probably going more to the C minus range myself for Tua, but I do agree overall. Look, it wasn't a great game. We expect better from him. The location wasn't good. He needs to come back and do something else, but we also have to consider he was missing Waddle.
I knocked him because before Juan goes, I knocked him because he put points on the board for the other team twice. I mean, they scored 24, but it was really 14 for the offense. That's why I gotta because I have high expectations for him. This being his second year, that's why I gotta knock him a little bit, even more than I probably would.
Yeah. No, and the pick six. Look, that was just all of it was stupid. There's just no way to justify it. Anybody that's saying it's Hunter Long's fault, again, Hunter Long could have done better on that play.
It was Tua's fault, but Hunter Long could have gave them. He could have helped out.
Yeah, Hunter Long absolutely could have helped out. It was the same as the Durham Smythe interception against the Falcons, right? Where Durham could have fought for the ball a little bit better, and it was just kind of like a flop of the arms later on. But no, it's 100% on Tua. So Juan, I'll let you go. Have your fun.
I would probably rank this as Tua's worst performance as a pro.
And I do want to actually touch on that from everybody because I'm almost there with you, but I do slightly disagree, and I want us to all talk about it. But yeah, continue.
The reason and the context that I feel that way is because we've now looked at him at 19, 20 starts, and some of the mistakes that he made weren't as egregious as maybe the Denver game, but they were pretty bad. That first interception, man, that was pretty bad in and of itself. Then he almost had another interception right there on the next drive when it was a tip pass.
And we haven't talked about the Albert Wilson just really deflating play.
And I was gonna talk about it because I don't necessarily think it was an arm issue. It was definitely he read it wrong.
Someone listened to CK.
No, I saw the all 22 and he
When it happened, that's not what you texted me. But yeah,
No,
yeah,
100% not. I was hot. It was he was like.
I was on FaceTime, bro. I was FaceTime with so many people. I'm like, holy shit, he can't
Bruh,
fucking hit
like,
it.
It just looked lollipop, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. It just looked like he lollipopped it, and it was just like, oh shit, like I don't got it anymore like that.
Mm-hmm.
But looking back at it now, he definitely, the way they play that is they make the safety pick. The safety usually picks the outside man just because he's probably deeper down the field, and you just hit Devontae Parker there for a good 8-12 yards, depending on how like in depth they put into it. But in that situation,
the triple covers started Gesicki too. We had Durham open right underneath.
Yeah.
That was...
But the thing with Tua now is that for me, it's almost been like a steady decline from the Panthers game. Looking like his accuracy wasn't as all there. The Giants game still didn't convince me as well. And now this game, it was like, okay, well, maybe let's see if he can, like, step up his game now that Waddle is out. You got Devontae back, and you got Mike Gesicki back, and it was almost like a deflating step back because it was just, not the two that we expect. It's not the two that we want to see. And look, that fourth quarter, I mean, that interception was horrendous, like truly horrendous. And you're looking at a quarterback who we say helped bring the team back on that last drive. That last drive, he went 2 for 24, or 2 for 20, excuse me, or 2 for 4, excuse me, for 20 yards, a touchdown. Meanwhile, Myles Gaskin had 2 carries for 34 yards, and Duke had 3 carries for 21 yards. We're looking at 55 yards rushing, and I don't know. I can't really say Tua brought us back like that. Sure, we scored 31, 34 points. It was the Jets.
Kai, background person, I see you. Chill out. Look, here's I want us to go through it. Number one, you say decline. I will say over the past several games, the accuracy hasn't seemed the same. I'll agree with you on that. I'm not going to necessarily call it a decline, as just like moments where it's a little bit. Anakin
I didn't even say his name one time.
Anakin Skywalker's big pissed. I would ease up on decline.
No, but from the Ravens game and the first Jets game, I mean.
Nah, but even the Ravens game, I mean, you saw the start of that Ravens game. That he couldn't hit anything.
Yeah, but then he got it going. He hit Waddle for a 46-yarder. I mean,
right, and then he had another good game after that.
Finger.
I think we're a little unfair to his accuracy because we expect. So okay, everybody here gave him a bad grade. Everybody, right? I agree. That's what I'm saying. Everybody here gave him a bad grade, but I think we can all agree we gave him a bad grade because for the most part, we expect better from him. Oh, I'm gonna throw up. Sorry, that was disgusting. I think we just expect better from him, and that's why we give him as bad of a grade as we do. You say this is Tua's worst performance of all time, like as in the NFL. Sordi, I'll go to you. Do you agree with that?
I'm going to be honest. I do agree. I do. I left that game thinking that was his worst performance to date because this is a thing. And like Bishop Sycamore's finest, I love the name. I'm reading the comments here in the sidebar. I think it's disappointing because, I mean, Tua's number one trait is supposed to be elite accuracy, right? Like he's supposed to show those traits over and over again. And he wasn't showing that for the majority of the game on Sunday. And Kendall, you brought up a really good point that this is now his second year starting, right? I know the first year was COVID issues, injury, hip, coming back from it, what have you. But he's been through 2 offseason programs now, right? And he needs to be able to – he needs to look a little bit better in his second year as a player. His handoffs did look sick, Mac Jones-esque. But, I mean, gun to my head, I think this was his worst performance, probably worse than the Broncos game.
Okay. I'll go to you, Kendall.
The Broncos game was worse, I would say. But – I definitely had higher expectations. So that's why I think this one is like second right behind that Broncos game.
Yeah, I definitely put the Broncos game as worse because in the Broncos game, there was no point where I felt like he made the right reads or the right decisions or the right throws. It felt like nothing he was doing was ever going to work out. And I was not okay with that. I also would throw in the Raiders game.
That was
because the Raiders game was really rough too. I think this one's really close with it. So the people thinking we're overacting
the Raiders
on stuff.
Game, he had 1 or 2 drives in there before they yanked him.
Yeah, but he had drives in this game too. It's not like he didn't.
It seemed he has this
but
thing
the thing
where
for me, my bad, Kendall, I think it was the sandwich of the interceptions. Like you literally do it on your second drive after the defense.
And it came at the worst time. It was like defenses continued to bail you out, and you literally just brought them back in single-handedly, right? Yep. This isn't like somebody else fumbled or a misread on the play. You literally let them back in. Here's what I will say. I don't think anybody on this panel is giving up on Tua, for everybody that wants to think that any of us want to do that. I think we're all excited for where he can go from here. It's just for the progress that we believed he had made. This is a step back. And for all the things that we think he should be good at, he didn't do them consistently enough in that game to make us all confident. I'm not ready to give up on Tua by any means. I think
no, but I think it's fair to say these last 3 games are going to have a much closer microscope to what he is going to have to be. Because I mean,
we're going to start watching everything. You know how I feel about it. I'm not ready to move on to another quarterback, barring it being someone like Aaron Rodgers. You get Aaron Rodgers in the building, sure, pack your bags, Tua, you out the door. But let's be honest, he had his moments too, and that's something that, at the very least, at least we saw them, right? The throw to Devontae
Who did he
Parker.
have his moments with? I think he had 2 very good moments with a certain Isaiah Ford, maybe.
I like how you want to talk about Isaiah Ford. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, he had good throws to Isaiah Ford. The throw to Devontae Parker, right on the left side of the field, that was another great throw. The running over of a cornerback, which he then apologized for who knows what reason. I have no idea. He had his moments, and I think it's those moments that give a lot of us hope, and then it's those interceptions that make us all be like, God damn it, all the hate. So we'll see where we go from here. I don't want to talk anymore about Tua because we know how it goes. I want to talk about the best offensive player on the field on Sunday. And no, it is not Isaiah Ford, regardless of what PFF says, because they're dumbasses. It was Duke Johnson. And Juan, I'm going to make you talk about Duke Johnson first. Don't even say Isaiah Ford's name. You're only talking about Duke Johnson, the best running back the Miami Dolphins have had probably since Jay. Yeah.
What are you doing here? All right,
I'm
whatever.
just reminding you that
shut the fuck up.
I'm just reminding you that you bought season tickets because of Adam Gase.
That was terrible. Thank you. That is my scorn for the Dolphins. Thank you. So now you know. But no, I think Duke, for all the shit that I talked about him last week, and Royal and Kai, because I don't want to be the only one here. But for all the shit we talked about, he came out and did exactly what the fuck I said he wouldn't do. He had 16 plus carries. He had 18 plus touches.
I think you said 10 carries for 18 yards in the
No. That was Royal. I never put numbers.
You put a number.
Put numbers. That was Royal. That was Royal and Kai. And I specifically remember being sandwiched with no numbers because I would not put myself out there.
I don't know, bro.
But I will say that Duke did something that no other running back this year has done. Yeah, exactly. Duke sat there and made 0-yard plays because of the O-line and -1 yard plays. He made them to 2-yard and 3-yard and 5-yard plays. And then all of a sudden you see that 8-yard run turn into 12. And then that 12-yard run turn into 15. And then you see him catch a screen. And he was great. He was absolutely great. My only challenge, let's just see it for 3 weeks straight. You give me that type of effort 3 weeks straight, maybe running back's not as big as a priority as we.
You're asking for a lot, man. Give me 2. I haven't seen 2 weeks straight of that since Jay Ajayi, legitimately. So give me 2, and then we can talk about 3.
Here's my thing. This is my last thing. He had a lot of adrenaline being back at the crib for the first time, COVID replacement, off the street. That shit.
Yo,
you get superhuman strength sometimes. I'm not gonna say he doesn't have it, but let's just see it for the last 3 weeks. That's all I want.
All right. I'm gonna go to Sordi next, and I'm gonna let you go last, Kendall. Because
actually, never mind. I'm full on the Duke. Just put up Zach's comment and.
Right. As long as anybody compares him to Najee Harris, that gives you a stiffy. All right, Sordi, your thoughts on Duke Johnson, and Sordi, I want you to get specifically into your thoughts on how this front office so badly failed the running back room when the two best running backs the Dolphins have had, I think, came weeks 12 and later, completely off the street when the rest of the NFL said no and have looked leagues ahead of the guys that we had coming into the season.
Yeah, no, it's funny because the Duke Johnson experience is very interesting to me because when we do the mailbag for the podcast, a lot of people are asking Duke Johnson questions, and me and Takes were just cracking up because it's like, dude, who the fuck cares about Duke Johnson? This guy's gonna run for 4 carries for 17 yards, right? Like
everybody who ever watched that's who.
Exactly. We were completely shitting on him, and I'm a fan, but still, I'm like, yo, he's washed, whatever. He's not gonna do shit. And all of a sudden, he plays against the Jets, which is I believe one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL.
They're either 31st or 32nd.
They are down there. It's very bad. Yeah. And he absolutely dominated. Don't get me wrong. It's incredible to see us having a dominant running back performance. I was very stoked about that. With that said, the Greer and I guess Flo combined brain power to completely ignore and disregard the running back room, I think is a big stain on this franchise. Not this franchise,
that's giving them too much credit saying that they've used their brain for the running back room.
Agreed. Completely agreed. Because there are so many opportunities to grab guys in the later rounds and they constantly skip out on them. Bro, we could have had Ramondre Stevenson, man. And I know it's the shoulda, coulda, woulda game. I would have loved him. I liked him before the draft. Of course, he goes to the Patriots.
Literally.
But it's like I'm not asking for a first round running back. I think me and Juan are probably on the same page there because I know he's team fuck Najee. And I was
put it up.
I was team Najee Hive in shambles when we didn't draft him. I was very happy about that.
Hey, I was with you, bro. I wanted Najee Harris. Those thighs had me going, bro.
Bro, they're nice thighs. I'm not gonna lie, but not in the first round. They were in the second round. I'm all for it.
Freaks. Ass and feet, ass and legs.
I like Alf with the stats popping in. I love that. With all that said, though, if Duke Johnson against the Saints defense can show out and get another 100-yard rushing game and not carry us to a win, but really be a complimentary piece to Tua and the passing game, I'll be super excited and I'll have faith in Duke. I don't expect it, so I'm really interested to see actually what goes down next week.
Yeah, and I think 100 yards might be setting the bar a little bit high, to be honest. I think personally, if I get an efficient run game from him, 70 plus yards, but it's efficient, not like 30 carries for 70 yards, but 10 to 12 for 70, I think I'll be happy with that. But Duke Johnson, number one fan on the show, Kendall. Kendall, to me, he looked like Duke Johnson of days. And I know not too many people watch that, but legitimately, when Duke Johnson was at they didn't use him as a pass catching back, right? He did that. But when he ran the shit over people, man.
Duke was like 5-6 yards a pop in college, man. Duke was
all the time. He looked like Duke Johnson. Was it a one-game thing? Do you think he can do that consistently?
It was a one-game thing, but that's I don't think it's gonna have to be something that's consistent because I would prefer Phillip Lindsay be the guy who leads and has the most carries just due to the fact that he's actually done it. I would like to see them use Duke more in the passing game next game. They threw him like one pass, I believe.
Yeah, I think they threw him like 2 or 3, and you broke 1 for 20.
Yeah, like a little misdirection, like screen pass or whatever. It was just nice to see, man. I was at the game. Just the man got hit. He fell backwards and put his hand on the ground, and he proceeded to keep going forward.
Yep.
And just seeing guys,
we haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, just making someone miss. Like I was just like, yo, like Myles Gaskin should never see this fucking field again. Like for the rest of this game,
every time they put him in there.
You know what? I go finish your thing. I'm gonna surprise you, Juan.
I actually think it was Duke actually taking himself out of the game.
Yeah.
And that they will put Myles in, but yeah, man, falling forward, he would make a guy miss. A linebacker will go at his legs, a cornerback will go at his legs, and then he'll still fall forward for a couple 2-3 yards, or just keep running, and make him miss completely. That's something that I hope and pray that Myles Gaskin can do. And then lo and behold, that motherfucker did it on the last drive when we scored a touchdown, and he broke loose and he broke an arm tackle, and I'm like,
30 yards.
He's never done that before.
He's never done that before.
That boy saw his child fading. He said,
you feel me? That's exactly what I was gonna say. He feel like Duke is on his neck. I think he passed him at this point. I think Flo has enough sense to know that he got 2 running backs that are better than them crappy boys from the Washington What
Huskies.
Chihuahuas? They ain't even Huskies, bro. Them boys is nothing but little Chihuahuas,
And
man.
and I do want to ask you, because you were at the game. Sorry, I don't know if you were at the game. If you were, you can chime in on this too. I got a text from Kai at one point because Kai is big anti-Duke, right?
Yeah.
Because he's a Gator fan. He was raised wrong, right? So he's a Gator fan. So he's very anti-UM. Even he said, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty dope every time he breaks out a run. The entire stadium just busts out the Duke.
Yeah, it was Duke and U's.
Was it
everywhere.
really that loud? Like, was it that like fun to be
Oh
part
yeah,
of?
bro. It was everywhere. Everybody was saying it. Every run. It could have been like a 3-4 yard carry on first down, bro. And everybody was saying Duke.
And it's kind of funny because I was at the Heat Magic game last Friday, and the entire arena was yelling Strus. That was actually pretty fun because they won. But the whole arena was yelling Strus every time Strus made a shot. So it was, not the same, but kind of similar. I will say this, though.
There was a crowd?
A lot of Heat fans, actually. It was about 50-50, just about. I think Myles Gaskin, if Duke Johnson can continue to do this, I think Myles Gaskin's in a perfect spot. Legitimately.
Okay.
I don't like seeing Myles Gaskin carry the ball a lot. But I think, comparing him to Duke Johnson, and Duke Johnson breaks some more of those tackles, forces the defense to really take their tackling more seriously, come a little bit harder after the running back. And then you get a faster back in Myles Gaskin, who's a little bit shiftier, where, he's not going to break the arm tackles.
You think so?
I think he's got a little bit more breakaway speed than Duke Johnson. Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think he's
maybe
got
it might have been the adrenaline,
out.
like Juan said, bro, but Duke looked faster than him, man. Like
Duke looked great, and I'm fine with letting Duke get the bulk of the carries. But Myles Gaskin's best role is as a change of pace back, as a third down back.
Yeah, but I'm not putting him on third down. That I want that perfectly clear.
I would rather have.
He is not blocking.
I would rather have Lindsey.
He was not blocking for Tua.
No, I mean he never
Ahmed
has.
should not even be on the field.
I've seen Ahmed literally look at cornerbacks, put his arms away from them, and totally
he makes
let
business
them by.
decisions. He makes business decisions. There's no reason to throw out your shoulder and be out 4 games when you could just put your arms out and let your quarterback be out 3. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Quick question. I'll start with you, Sordi, and we'll go around and everybody can answer it. Next week, you have your entire running back room healthy. Who's your number 1 running back? Who's your number 2? Duke
and Lindsey.
Okay.
I don't want to I don't hate Gaskin by any means. I think he's like a low RB2, high RB3. I just think that we are so decrepit at the running back position for so many years. We saw Gaskin and we're like, oh shit, maybe he'll be decent. And then Duke comes in and kind of kills it, and we realize, hey, we actually had shit at running back, not good at all. So give me Duke, give me Lindsey. Have Gaskin a couple plays, that's it. And that's genuine.
I mean, at one point we thought Savon Ahmed was the answer because he did better than Gaskin, and then he disappeared.
He had a 100-yard game too, so it's
almost a year to the date. Kendall, RB1, RB2.
It's funny that you guys brought up Ahmed. RB1 is Lindsey, 2 would be Duke, and 3 would be Ahmed because he's faster and he's bigger than Myles Gaskin.
Okay.
Don't put him in when you need him to block, but I would much rather have Ahmed than Myles Gaskin.
So you're kind of thinking, listen, Gaskin might start seeing some inactives coming up.
Oh yeah, he about to be down there at the Palmetto Pop Warner. That boy, I don't want him.
Nah, he's gonna be up there playing with Uncle Luke and his kids. All right, so
him and White Chocolate gonna be ringing
Juan, RB1,
RB2. For me, I'd probably go Duke RB1 and Lindsey RB2. And whoever the hell wants to play ball at RB3. Like if Miles wants to come in and actually ball, if Savon wants to play, then whoever wants it.
Cool. I like it. I go Duke and Lindsey as well, but only because Duke to me he's my guy from the U, so I'm never going to stray away from him. Let's go defensive side of the ball. Now, I will tell you, I did not like the defense in the first half. And Juan and Kendall seem to blame that on Tua almost entirely. And I don't. And here's why.
We're going to go there.
Yeah, let's do it. I think the defense in the first half had 2 very specific drives where it looked like they had no idea what to do against Zach Wilson, and specifically multiple plays where they had him in the backfield and they made him look like the white Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson. Okay, that's not cool. I'm not okay with that. Zach Wilson can never look like that. I don't care what's going on. So for me, in the first half, I wasn't happy with it. Second half, they completely shut them out. Cool, you shut up, you did your thing. But those two specific drives, yeah, no, not a fan. So, Sordi, I'll let you go first before Juan really gets heated.
So the defense, obviously, in the first half was not ideal. You had Zach Wilson running around like a white Vic, like you said, nonstop, just like breaking tackles, juking dudes. The other thing, too, is the Jets were pulling out all the stops, right? They had all those bullshit trick plays, just constantly just confusing the defense. I thought that they should have been a little bit, not more prepared, because I don't think you're going to be prepared for a team to run like 3 to 4 trick plays per half. I understand the confusion. With that said, the Jets blow, right? And this is a Flores-led defense. I was expecting way more from them in the first half. Of course, in the second half, they picked it up. We saw them just really blitzing the shit out of Zach. Jerome Baker had a pretty sick game. We know he had 2 sacks. Brandon Jones, Van Ginkel contributed there as well. I mean, like, defensive grade overall, the second half, they really helped us towards the end. I'd probably still say like a B-, just because we played one of the worst teams in the league and we got embarrassed as hell in the first half. We're going to have to play better defense against the Saints. Like, I'm not scared of the Saints defense, Saints offense by any means. But with that said, we're going to need to kind of dial it up in the first half and like really show up and come to play, you know?
Yeah, agreed. Kendall, your thoughts on the defense?
Yeah, they were definitely disappointed in the first half. I mean, Justin Coleman missing tackles on Zach Wilson. I mean, he had them clear as day. But I mean, bro, like, even sitting there, it was a Jets fan sitting in front of me. And when they ran that fucking middle, like, shallow crossing route with the throwback to Braxton Berrios, he didn't even get excited. He said, "We fucking suck." And I was like, yeah, y'all know y'all can't beat us. That's why y'all doing that bullshit. Like, they was really doing a lot of wild shit out there, bro. Like, they did, like...
Bro, they ran like a fucking hook and lateral, but like it was like a pool shot from like one side of the pool table to the other. Like, I don't know what the fuck they did. They literally caught it, ran like a slant 10 yards up the field, and then threw it back 3 yards, and then he ended up getting like 15. Like, they literally made up plays.
Yeah, it was like shit was like drawn up in the dirt, bro. Like,
literally. It
was wild. Like, I mean, the one where they did like the throwback to Zach Wilson, we definitely should have like tackled him on that. I think Ogba missed the sack.
No, the entire defensive line and a couple linebackers all missed the sack.
I think that was in the second half when it was like a third down and he ran.
It was the one that they threw it back to him. They all were like around him and he's just like dancing.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, luck was on their side in the first half a little bit. I do think Tua did put him in a little hole, but I was still disappointed regardless he would have threw the pick, the first pick or not, or had the 3 and outs. But they definitely picked it up. I mean, in the second half, like, yeah. It from the third quarter on, after that their first drive in the third quarter, I was not worried at all. Even when we tied the game up, I wasn't worried from that point on.
There was no reason to be. The Jets' longest drive in the second half, let me give it to you, was a total of, okay, here's a fun question. Let's just ask it. What was the longest drive in terms of yards? Right? What is the most yards the Jets gained on any one drive in the second half? Everybody give your guess. We'll start with you, Juan.
I think I saw it 38.
38 yards? Okay. Kendall?
I was going to say 22 on the last drive.
Okay. Sordi?
I want to say like 32.
Okay. So it was 37 yards. So Juan was basically right on. And that one, they actually went through and fumbled. That was the one where Zach Sealer. Yep. Yeah. Sealer had the strip fumble. So listen, the defense, but here's my thing. They didn't do that in the first half, right? You showed me you can do it. I just don't get where it was for those 2 drives in the first half where the Jets go 10 plays, 80. No.
Can I
You're
go?
going to say, oh, the offense gets a 3 and out, so the
can I
defense has to go out there.
Do you
Okay, go ahead.
realize how ridiculous you sound that you're complaining about
two
drives?
Big guy, we're in a group chat. We're in a group chat with 4 people total. Me, you, 2 other people. You had 3 versus 1, and you wouldn't back down in the first half. Admit that.
Because you guys were already talking about the defense being trash for the first half, and look at the performance that they put out for the game.
We were talking about the first half. That's all we had to go on when we were analyzing the game at halftime.
But you guys weren't putting context into anything, though.
Oh, because you give Tua a lot of context, right?
Let's not make it about Tua. Let's not make every conversation
but that's what you do every time.
Let's not make every conversation about Tua. We're talking about the defense. Well, actually, no, this is going to be.
Exactly. We're talking about the defense, but you're saying that the defense couldn't do their thing because of Tua. I agree with you. Tua gave the ball at 25, but they held them to a field goal.
Bro, the first drive, offense did their job, yes or no?
No shot.
Okay.
3 plays, 7 yards.
Defense on their first drive, did they do their job, yes or no?
No shot.
Absolutely not. Third drive, offense, did they do the drive?
Nope. Tua threw the interception.
Defense, next drive, did they do their job?
Yes, they held them to a field goal.
Next drive, offense, did they do their job?
Punted again. And then you know what the defense did, right? After that,
held them to another punt.
Held them to a punt, right?
Yeah.
They had 2 drives specifically where the defense looked like they could not handle it. A team that averages 16 points per game, they allowed 17 in the first half.
I can't live.
No, they allowed 14.
Okay, so
I can't live.
They allowed 14 to a team that for 4 quarters averages 16.
They're an NFL team, bro. They're gonna.
And they gave up 0.
And it's a division game. They're gonna come out and put somebody in the mouth.
Right, but then when I use that, but when I use that division game, I use that division game reasoning to explain why the offense was coming out rusty and not good, missing literally the number 1 player on that offense aside from Tua, you said, nah, it's different.
Michael, no, I didn't say it's different. I said, how many drives do you need to get in sync? Because I gave you the context for the first drive.
And the Dolphins, if you're going to sit
here and say, okay, the defense sucked as the first drive. Awesome, Michael. I 100% agree with you. They should not have gotten popped in the mouth like that. They did. They didn't know how to answer. They go back on the sideline to try to figure it out. First play, Tua throws a pick.
Yeah, and then they came in and they answered, and they did well.
They answered. They held them to a field goal. Next drive, 3 and out.
Here's where you and I disagree.
Realistically, think about it. Think about it in real life time.
You're saying the entire defense's situation, that defense's reasoning for allowing touchdowns was the offense. That is what you're telling me. Yeah, that is what you're saying. And that's what you said in our
defense fucked up, and Tua let it snowball.
Right, and Tua let it get worse, and then he responded in the second half, and we scored 21 points in the second half.
And then all of a sudden, the defense can fix things, right?
The defense fixed things on the very first drive. Okay, so then let's go counter argument, right? No. Let's go counter argument, right? Defense has first drive in the second half. What did they do?
Hold on, I have it here.
Held them to a 3 and out. Dolphins get the ball back immediately. What do?
They scored a
touchdown.
They score a touchdown. Defense come back, holds them to 6 plays, forces them to punt. Offense comes back out on the field and does what immediately?
Touchdown.
Okay, so it's a symbiotic thing. Both of them can help each other out. Neither of them was helping each other out in the first half, but you were absconding the defense of any blame.
It's not that I was absolving them of any blame. I'm saying if we're going to ride them for 5 games, and then the minute that they crack, we don't expect the offense to all of a sudden step up their game. It's like, well, what are we doing here? It's just, the defense sucks ass. We're going to lose.
If you expect,
I can't live like that with a top 5.
No, I agree with you. Tua needs to at some point play a game where he wins it because of himself and just because of himself. And he needs to start showing that. But when the defense fails like this against the Jets, like they did in the first half, I'm unhappy, bro. Because that's the one place I do expect it. I know Tua's going to have his ups and downs. I'm not expecting it from the defense, not against Zach Wilson.
In terms of the defense, I just want to call out Xavier Howard. That was some soft ass shit on the fucking
run, on that Zach Wilson run.
Bro, that should have been a field goal.
He's just like, it's okay.
He's like, hey, I got to get paid again. I'm just going to throw my shoulder out here and expect that little man to go down. And because he is from the U, he did not. He actually scored. That was terrible, bro. Like, he could have just rolled him out of bounds, like legit, just wrapped him up and like use his momentum to carry him out of bounds. And
hold on a second. No, Kai's not here. He can't fix the show. This is what you got, Carlos. Thank you for being here. I can't do anything about it. Sordi, bring some outside perspective into this, because Juan and I are just going to oppose each other no matter what. I mean, 100%. I could literally look up at the sky and say, hey, the sky is blue today with a couple clouds. And Juan will be like, no, there's a bunch of clouds with a little bit of blue. That's just the way we are. So Sordi, please, just the defensive first half performance made me very unhappy. Second half, they did great. Juan wants to seemingly blame it on the offense. It is what it is. Juan, own it up. Right? Sordi, what do you think?
Yeah, it's tough because I think it was a letdown for a full team performance, right? The first half was completely miserable. We have the defense. I don't know what was going on. It seems like Flores gave up play calling again in the first half as far as that defense goes, because I feel like we didn't see a lot of blitzes against Zach. He was kind of picking us apart a little bit, which is really weird to see, a rookie who's looked pretty shitty for most of the year do that against our defense at home, not to mention coming off of a bye week too. I think that was the most disappointing thing, where they had a full week plus to prepare for this Jets team, and we showed up that flat in the first half. With that said, I really hate to play both sides of it, but I think it's both sides. The offense slowly stepped up in the second half. Tua led some drives, and in addition, the defense, blitzed, and they got it done as well. I would like to see the offense have carried a little bit more. I'm not going to lie. Just as far as the first half goes, it was a pretty miserable showing for us. But second half, especially towards the end of the game, I know Tua didn't make as many throws on the game-winning drive, but he was able to lead us down there. At the end of the day, he did make the throw that mattered. So I can't pin it 100% on the offense for doing too bad. With that said, it was just kind of shitty across the board for me.
Yeah, and look, to be fair, Marcus, I agree with you. The defense has been carrying this team for essentially the whole season. I will also blame the defense for certain games where, I just needed one stop. That's all I needed was one stop against Urban and one stop against Matt Ryan. Although, to be fair, that was the healthiest the Falcons have ever been all season, and they're never going to have that full team out there again. Look, I was happy with the defensive performance. Is there any one player from defense that really jumped out to you and you think is going to carry over their performance from this week into next week against Taysom Hill and the Saints? I'm just kind of throwing it out there. See which one of you wants to answer first.
I would say Zach Sealer.
Yeah.
Honestly, he showed up. He made some pretty big plays when it mattered. I would like to see him get a couple more snaps in the rotation and really be able to kind of show his worth.
Thank you, Kai Chisholm, for the $1.99 dono. He said, # let Kendall speak. So I will speak, my brother.
So hold on a second. Is it messed up that Royal's not here, so the person that reads the dono is then Kendall? Is that we just let? Okay.
I just had to do it because I didn't.
You just made that so uncomfortable. Wow.
I'm not the one that guessed that. I'm not the one who, when he was asked in what state is Jackson State,
I
answered
said it was,
Atlanta.
I told you, and I explained it. It was because of the airport. It's Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta Airport. That is why I thought Atlanta. That is what I'm
answered the question in what state is Jackson State, and your answer was Atlanta, bro. You were never gonna live that down.
Miami's a state, but the guy that I want to see his performance carry over is Christian Wilkins. He brings a lot of energy to the team. He's a goofball and whatnot. And he's definitely coming on. When Christian Wilkins started to get some penetration, in the run game, and he helped hold down the run game, because Tevin Coleman got loose a little bit. And that's the guy who I would like to see performance carry over, because, I really just think the Saints can only run the ball against us at this point.
Juan?
I'm between a couple players, but I'm gonna go Baker. To me, Baker, there were some times where in the run game he'll eat a block and he won't necessarily shed it to make the tackle, but he'll help it for the next side to come in. And I think on one of those Tevin Coleman runs that you're specifically talking about, Brandon Jones just missed it literally right in the hole. So it was kind of weird to say we missed a rookie in Javon Holland, but man, did we miss him. Yeah. But Jerome Baker, to me, getting that second sack, kind of arguing with Agba about it, on the bottom of the pile, which if I'm Agba, I would be like, Baker, bro, you just already got paid. I'm trying to get paid. Why? Let me just get the sack. But No, I think he's stepping up. I see him a lot more comfortable when he's playing on the edge and when he's actually put into space, and not so much in the Mike role, which they try to like pigeonhole him into. Sometimes that means a little too much of a Landon Roberts, but I like what I saw from Baker.
Yeah. And good news from Dolphins camp. I know that Jalen Waddle has been activated off of the COVID list.
Yes,
he was activated this morning, and so was Lindsey.
Yes.
Correct? Both of them were. We don't have any status updates yet on Javon Holland and his illness, but we do know that his
COVID though.
No, I know. We know that his illness is not COVID related. His illness is something separate that puts him on the injury report, not a COVID reserve list.
Might be simping. He's been tweeting a lot to
listen,
Danger.
I'm not gonna lie.
He's a madman.
Yeah, his tweets crazy. And likes and interactions have been a little interesting lately, bro.
We didn't get him on the field. He's had a little too much off time.
You a little thirsty. I know this is your first bye week. You don't know what to do.
Miss Danger.
Well, there was also
let that boy live life on the edge, man.
There was another one where he tried to do. That was honestly the broke boy fucking Quavo and Saweetie, bro. That man said, "Do you like cheese?" and put a fucking cheese. I don't know what he was thinking, bro. That must be some weird shit from Canada. I truly don't know.
That's that working game.
That worries me for the offseason. He's going to have a lot of time on his hands, and I'm not sure what he's going to do with it.
We already talked about it with Alf. We're going to get him around some 10s, and we're going to hook our boy up.
Okay. By we, you mean anybody else, not you, right? Because I feel like you don't have any access to this kind of stuff.
Listen, Michael, just come down here, bro. We're gonna have a good time.
Bro, you don't even live in Miami. You live in Broward. Get out of here.
Bro, exactly. Okay. Why you gonna have a good time, bro? You've been living in the wrong place.
Bro, I thought you lived in the Panthers arena. Okay, so next Dolphins game is next Monday. We're not 100% sure yet if we're doing a show on Thursday. I mean, that's the day before Christmas Eve. I'm sure everybody's figuring stuff out. So let's talk a little bit about the Saints game. Okay. Waddle's going to be back.
Yes.
So that will help out the offense tremendously, but this is a Saints defense that is way better than the Jets, right? So first and foremost, can't have no pick sixes, right? Like you can't do that. Do you expect the offense to have a better performance than they did this week against the Jets? That's why, right? Because they didn't play well against the Jets, right? Run game was great. Pass game, not what we were happy with. They're playing a better defense. It's Monday Night Football. Better performance against the Saints or the Jets by the time it's said and done from the offense?
I'm going to say Saints.
Okay. The offense is better against the Saints?
Yeah.
Why?
While that D-line does scare me, our entire run game and short pass game is kind of predicated to like alleviate that problem. I don't necessarily see that being an issue. Marshawn Lattimore, as good as he is probably one of the few corners who's literally like on off. Like if he's playing Mike Evans, he's going to shut him off to like 3 catches for 6 yards. And if he's playing some random scrub and he's not locked in, he probably doesn't care. I'm not necessarily saying we're going to see Waddle pop off, but I wouldn't be shocked about it either. And truly, like, Taysom Hill's going to have at least a 3 interception game, in my opinion. Like, we're going to be working with some short fields. I don't see how their offense.
I think he missed our whole debate.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
Okay. We don't need to talk about it.
Go back, and you're gonna have a lot to chew on.
I think I was the one that gave him the highest grade on the day, and I get to a C-.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun in that.
Yeah,
chat.
Dolphins chat is gonna be fun later.
I don't know where I was at.
Yeah, Sordi, I'll go to you on this one. Do you think that the offense performs better as a whole? Or, I mean, if you want to pick one side of the ball, like maybe the passing game gets better and the running game gets worse. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be worse against the Saints. I'm going to be honest. I'm anticipating a low-scoring affair. I think for both sides, I think we'll be able to hold the Saints to a pretty low-scoring game. I think they're going to hold us relatively pretty low. I could see us scoring anywhere from like 14 to 17 points. I'm kind of anticipating, and that could be a win for us, right? Like we can hold them. We could hold them to Taysom Hill and them to 7 points, man, and we could get that win. I just think it's gonna be tough for us to score. Their defense is very good. With that said, I'm not looking at it from the perspective that, hey, They held Tom Brady. They shut out Tom Brady, right? Like the divisional games are always tougher. With us against the Jets, it's always going to be close, in my opinion. And with the Bucs and the Saints as well, like those are always close games. So the fact that it's like an interconference game, NFC versus AFC, two teams that normally don't play each other, I feel like we have a pretty good chance. With that said, it's going to be a defensive dominant game. We'll be a little bit worse on offense, but Jalen Waddle at least will bring that dynamic factor to our team.
Okay. Kendall?
I'm expecting the offense to have a great performance because that's what I'm supposed to expect out of our top 5 quarterback. I mean, at some point, we need that breakthrough game this year, man. Like, and it just couldn't be a more perfect time. I mean, I went at Chris Sims for him as well. Like, he was capping for Taysom Hill.
Brigade, bro.
You feel me? Like, I sparked that back up and didn't expect it to spark like that, but it did. So fuck it. We here. Like, the man got to show up. Tua was lying for a little bit, talking about something. He ignores it. He doesn't see it. No, motherfucker. You see everything. You have a phone just like all of us. Like, he sees the fans going hard for him. He knows what Chris Sims said about him.
Bro, he's sensitive.
You feel me? So it's like, bro, he apologized for running the guy over. I know he be on them Twitters. He be deep in them Twitters, bro. Like, scheming.
He's about to get a scepter from Good Morning Football too.
You feel me? He got a burner or two where he clocking what's being said about him. Like, bro, this is a game for him.
You think he's running 2-on, or I swear that was Sordi for a while.
Nah, I think he too.
Why do you think Sordi's not on camera? He's wearing the Dolphin mask.
I got the mask on my head right now, chilling.
Too a little too smart to actually tweet about himself. Like, he wouldn't be tweeting. He just watches.
Have you watched interviews with him recently too? That man is the most deadpan. Like, he's just like, I'm going out.
Yeah, he knows how bad he's played. Yeah. That's why I'm like,
okay, relax. Relax.
I mean, bro. Like,
nah.
After the Giants game, like he was like he seemed kind of bothered.
He knew that he missed.
He knows, yeah. Like
told him.
I think it's fair.
Carolina games.
You know the first person on the phone with him is his daddy, being like, "The F are you doing out there, huh?"
He said he probably holds himself to a high standard, so why shouldn't we? I mean, I think
that's a dangerous thing you're trying to live by.
Nah. Don't act like you're coming from this reasonable place, man. Because you're the kind of guy that sees the Dolphins score a touchdown and they're like, well, according to my calculations, that pass was actually 0.1 degrees to the left of where it should have been, and so Tua is not a good quarterback. That's you.
I'll come back from that. I'll say that upon review. There was no time. No, honestly, Michael, I'm after this. I'll try to show you the play. Michael Dieter and Austin Jackson literally
left free rushers.
No, they blocked each other on that play.
There was free rushers.
Like that UF play. I wish Kai was here. That UF play where they blocked each other.
Yeah,
that's literally what they did.
Listen. This is all I'm saying. You come from this place like you're a reasonable dude. The only times you're active in our extra yard group chat between me, you, Royal, and Kai is when Tua makes a mistake. When Tua has a nice throw, right after he threw that beautiful pass to Devontae, you didn't say a word.
No, because I need to see it again.
When he runs over a cornerback, you don't say a word.
He
throws an interception, you immediately come in. You see that? That's why he's bad. You see that?
No. I didn't say timeout. That was Kai who brought up the interception. I was behind. We were all behind that.
Yeah, okay. So you were behind, but you were going to say something. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Michael, you know what it is? When it's a good play, Juan needs to go back and watch the all 22. But when it's a bad play, he knows immediately. He's that intelligent, you know? Like, he's a fucking
big fact.
He's just so good.
Just like when PFF grades him good, I can shout it out. And when they don't, it's just like,
nah, get out of here. You love when PFF grades him bad because you're like, ooh, guys,
PFF gave him a 40.
I did see Juan post some PFF stats, I think, today. It might have been yesterday or today.
Yeah, it was about Isaiah Ford.
Juan was active, bro. He's been active.
I've been having fun, bro.
The man is ridiculous. I think here's my thing. If there was ever a perfect time for him to take literally all of us and shut all of us up again,
that's all I want.
It would be the Saints game.
But let's be fair. I want us to shut up and not have to talk about something like midway through the third quarter or the fourth quarter,
right?
And then shut up again.
No. Here's
shut us up 4 quarters solidly. Go.
The last time I remember harmony across the board on Dolphins Twitter concerning the quarterback play specifically in recent memory to me was the Ravens game. We didn't expect him to play. He came in out of nowhere. And I'm not saying Tua had a great performance, but we won a primetime game, which the Dolphins never do. So that was the last time I kind of remember like we were all chilling, kind of happy. If the Dolphins win again in primetime, they win this game against the Saints in New Orleans on Monday Night Football, as long as he doesn't have some egregious pick six, I think we'll be happy.
I mean, is it a 13-7 win? Like,
yeah.
Or
is it a 9? Is it a 9? Absolutely, bro. Like,
I mean, I asked Juan that on Sunday. He said it did.
If he's out there and he goes like 17 for 31 for like 175, like, and he just looks average, you know, like this is the like on national TV.
That's because of Alfredo. Put Alfredo.
The thing is, no, because the thing is, look, if Chris Sims is on Cuck Mountain, right? Juan is on like Cuck Hill, like right there. Like he's like he kind of like wants to make himself a mountain, but then he's not that popular, so he's just like
Tua has to show out because his Bay is going to be calling the game too. So Louis Riddick, so like, bro, your Bay is going to be in the broadcast booth calling the game. So like,
that you know, Dan Orlovsky's going to be watching and analyzing the game the next day.
You know, he's already just said we should give you more time, bro. You gotta put on for your mans up there in the booth calling the game.
Listen, I take Louis Riddick as a GM. Let's be honest. All right. Wow. I will just go around and we'll ask this and we'll close it out with this. Sordi, the Dolphins win or lose on Sunday? And in doing so, are we happy with the performance or are we back next week arguing about a bunch of different things?
I truly think we're going to win this game. And I think we're going to be happy with the performance. You know what? Maybe Tua has one turnover. That's okay, right? The Saints have a sick defense. I feel like he'll genuinely do enough to get it done. I mean, it's pretty sketchy from a betting perspective. The Saints are only laying 3 points. It's going to be a low-scoring affair. They anticipate at 39, you know, give or take, obviously. I feel like everyone's going to like look at the Saints as, oh, they're only laying 3 points against the Dolphins, who really struggled against the Jets. Let's be honest, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like we're going to show up. I truly do. Because I think the disappointment might come against the Titans. I actually think we win this game, and we're riding high, needing 2 more wins to get into the playoffs. I gun to my head, I think we win it.
Yeah, I think the Titans will also. So the Titans will most likely have A.J. Brown back for that game against the Dolphins. And some conversations that I'd heard earlier were that they would probably even would have Derrick Henry back for that game. Maybe. And if that is the case, oof, we got a tough one. All right, Kendall, do the Dolphins win? And if they do, are we happy?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're going to be happy that they won. And I do think they're going to win because it's Taysom Hill. I mean, and it's Flo and Boyer right now. They're on a hot streak. They had a little hiccup in that first half, but
okay. I don't know if I'd call a 7-game losing streak a little hiccup, but sure, yeah.
No. I'm talking about in the winning streak. They had a hiccup in the first half of the Jets. Game.
Sorry, I thought you meant early in the season. I'm like, they lost 7 in a row. Let's not act like that wasn't a thing.
Come on, man.
I gotta remind everybody where we came from because we lost to the now fired Urban Meyer. That's embarrassing. Juan.
I think we're gonna win.
Okay.
I have us going 20-13.
I wasn't asking the prediction. You just ruined our pregame show. Kai, I'm sorry. That's Juan's fault.
Oh. What'd you ask me?
If you think they're gonna win, I never said the score.
Oh. Well then no, they're not gonna win. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, I think they're gonna win. I think we're looking at like what Tua's game necessarily is. It's gonna be 3, maybe 4 scoring drives and a field goal, if that. And that's looking funny.
Hey, Urban a legend, bro. I don't care what nobody says.
You just gotta put a picture of that kicker's head on the ball, and then, bro, through the uprights every time.
No, Urban is an urban legend, bro. I honestly
like it's no way around it.
I don't like the man is just on another
telling
level,
assistants they suck, bro. Like picking kickers
because I'm the coach.
Yeah, bro. Like
it's a myth, right, bro. There. Like that man does not exist. It's like
you guys got to go watch the Gridiron Heights that Bleacher Report did. It was all about Urban Meyer this week, but then Tua and Waddle are in the background, and Waddle's like, "I did it, guys. I had another great performance." And Tua's like, "It's okay. I see you. And he like brings him in for a hug. It's like all in the background. It's fantastic.
That's sad.
Yeah. Okay. Sordi, admit it. You are 2-on, and tell us what it's like having probably the most surging Twitter account.
Bro. You might low-key get signed by Barstool. I just want to that.
I'm genuinely not 2-on. I wish it was.
Okay, so you come on our show to lie?
Listen, I've been in spaces with the 2-on account. I got an alibi. Me and Takes have an alibi.
You see,
somebody else run it.
It's just too quick to just go and just bring that specific example.
Right. Because I tell everyone.
It's like when somebody commits a murder and they're like, "You got to."
No, I was here at this place. Fulanito saw me, and it's
Listen. Guys, I think you know this. I spend like 7 hours a day on Twitter as it is. I probably spend more time on Twitter than I do my real job. I don't know how I could run both. I'm going to be dead ass. I wish I could. With that said, whoever does run 2-on, it's getting a little old constantly tagging Big Cat in it. I think they're like really trying to get the Barstool connection. I think it got to calm down just a little bit. I'm going to be honest.
They're legitimately trying to get like an NIL deal and like be signed by Barstool. I'm convinced.
Yo, wait, is Duke Johnson? Is that why Duke Johnson started this week? The Duke wait a minute.
Wow.
Hold on. Is Duke Johnson legitimately did 2-on, whether or not Duke Johnson's running it, but does 2-on have like a deal with Duke Johnson and they put a little bit of COVID in everybody's sandwiches? Or in their tests so that they would come back positive. That way Duke could come out and ball out.
Well,
I hope that's true.
That'd be great to know. Because listen, we needed it, and now we know Duke is probably our best running back.
You heard it here first. Officially, Sordi is 2-on. With that being said, Sordi, thank you so much for joining the show, man. It was a pleasure having you on.
No, thank you guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It was really fun.
Yeah, of course. Kendall, we did have a deal, and you do technically owe us a pregame next week, Monday night.
Bro, I don't owe anybody.
Nah, that was the deal we made when we were predicting the thing.
But I was gonna pull up. I even said we were going 4-0. You know what I'm saying? Because the Dolphins don't make sense. People gonna start to listen to me. You know.
Then you know what? You seem to always get it right. You got Duke Johnson season. You got 4-0. Kendall, tell the people right now, the Dolphins making the playoffs this season. Are they going 10-7?
The Dolphins are going 12-7, and they will lose in the AFC Championship.
12-8 then.
Well, 12-7, and then I'm saying the loss.
Oh, okay. Wow. Who are they going to lose to? Please don't say his name. Please don't.
In the AFC.
Yeah.
They're going to lose to Patty Mahomes.
I'm okay with that.
And the boys.
Who are they beating?
Okay,
who they beating? They will beat Joe Burrow.
Do it. Say it.
No. They're gonna beat the Colts actually in the first round.
Gonna be Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah, bro.
We got the number
Warrior and Flo are on a hot streak right now, man. They're gonna be Jonathan Taylor in the first round.
Who they gonna be?
And then in the second round, they finna beat the dog shit off of Josh Allen and the boys from Buffalo.
Dang it. Okay, no cap. Is there a way that we make it to the playoffs and the Bengals make it to the playoffs?
And the Chargers make it to the playoffs?
I think there has to be.
Listen, do you want to know how ready and igneous I would be if the Dolphins go and they beat Joe Burrow round 1? They beat Justin Herbert round 2. After that, I don't care what the flying F happens.
Do we wake up or do we stop using drugs?
Okay, you know what, Juan? If Tua and Justin Herbert ever face off in a playoff game, you and I have to put a major bet on it.
I'm with it.
Okay. You know what? F it. I'll say it right now. They play against each other, we'll put $250 on the line.
Oh, all right. I was thinking like Ethereum. Like, all right.
Okay, he was thinking an NFT or some shit.
Fine. Yeah. Do 250 in Bitcoin. I don't know.
Monkey pictures again.
Yeah, bro.
Fine. No. You give me your NFT. Right. Whoa. I now own it.
And he can't buy one for 2 years.
You screenshot it and you own it like I do.
No, I want the certificate. I want you to hand me whatever certificate or whatever the fuck it is.
Son of a bitch. You don't even know what you're talking about. All right,
I have no idea.
But then if not, I want.
If the Chargers win, you get pride. You get pride. That's it. That's
no, absolutely not. I want that pretty little Wade ball.
This one?
Yeah.
Damn.
It looks like it means a lot to you.
That's fine. I'll give you that and not the Dwayne Wade signed picture that's right next to it.
Motherfucker.
You were smart enough to realize that's what it was.
I thought it was signed. I was literally taking a calculator.
The ball's not signed. This was signed by Dwayne Wade at Dolphin Ball, and it's him dunking over Shaq when Shaq was on the Lakers still. So yeah, you missed out. I get your NFT. You get the ball that I'm pretty sure my cousin bought for me at Marshall's.
Yeah, we're acting like we're gonna make the playoffs though. So sorry.
All right, Tua is gonna beat Justin Herbert in the first round of the playoffs. Sordi is officially 2-0. We will see you guys either Thursday or next week Monday for pregame show. I'm not 100% sure yet. Follow the account for details. Make sure to follow Kendall. Make sure to follow Sordi, and make sure to not follow Juan if you want a nice peace-free time on Twitter. You guys have a good night.